Chair. First of all, I want to genuinely thank the colleagues for really good and constructive cooperation in this report, to all the shadows and to all the committees who contributed excellent opinions. And I just might mention in particular our colleagues in Budget, Jean-Paul Denanot. I suppose our role here was to assess the activities, the impact and the added value of the EGF, and of course to look to the future, to indicate what our proposals are for more effective and more efficient EGF. And I'm grateful to the colleagues for the engagement. The EGF is a small fund compared to the ESF, for example, and it's also a new fund. But I think that gives us a sense that we can help to shape it in a positive way. In this report, we look to see how we can help to make it more effective. What partnership models will deliver better outcomes for redundant workers who have lost their jobs due to globalisation? How we can organise the process so that it responds in a more timely way to the needs of workers. How we can ensure better value for money for both the workers and for EU taxpayers. And how we can spend that money in a more efficient way. How can we ensure we have relevant data that allows us to assess the outcomes from the fund without placing undue requirements on Member States? And of course, crucially, how can we help ensure personalised, well-coordinated measures that are tailored to the individual needs of the redundant workers? Because in that way, we do two things. We express our solidarity with them at a difficult time, and secondly, we assist them in the transition to sustainable employment. So, what makes EGF different to ESF, say? Well, EGF is meant to deal with emergencies, more short-term in its approach, while the ESF is more structural. Both have their advantages, and indeed it's been very positive to see how Member States use ESF as a complementary tool to EGF. We also propose that Member States need to achieve synergies between EGF and ESI funds, where we emphasise that ESI funds can act as follow-up measures in EGF areas of support by stimulating investment and overall job creation. So, what are the positives? Well, timelines have improved considerably due to efforts by all actors, Commission, Member States, Parliament, etc. Self-employed are now included. NEETs can benefit from EGF support in numbers equal to the numbers of targeted beneficiaries. EGF is now part of the shared fund management system, and I commend the Commission on this. Co-funding has been increased to 60%, more Member States are using EGF, and spending under personalised measures has been lowered to 35%, and indeed in many recent applications that spending is considerably less. Court of Auditors tells us that nearly all EGF beneficiaries were able to benefit from personalised and well-coordinated measures. The re-employment rate is around 50%, and as Member States become more used to the fund, their applications are more timely. But there are still negatives. Member States don't use EGF often enough and, crucially, don't often use the derogation. Funding has been cut from 500 million to 150 million. Budget implementation is only 55%, but improving. And there's a concentration of applications in the manufacturing, automotive, construction and aviation sectors. We need to take a different approach to NEETs and to redundant workers. So it's important to design EGF in a way that it can respond to their needs. And Member States need to make publicly available all relevant information in regard to EGF cases, and they need to set quantitative reintegration objectives so that we can measure the success. Finally, the most important point is that EGF must guarantee EU added value for redundant workers and taxpayers. Then we can strongly call for its continuation and expansion.